Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes how asset managers are starting to gauge corporate harm to nature, biodiversity. Tightened U.S. rules throttle Alibaba and Baidu's AI chip development. In industry first, Mitsubishi Electric secures defense deal with Australia. FDAV's further reading. U.S. revives controversial web rules Trump worked to quash. How asset managers are starting to gauge corporate harm to nature, biodiversity. South China Morning Post. Asset managers are developing their own tools for assessing companies' exposure to nature and biodiversity loss as investors increasingly focus on the issue. The sector needs internationally agreed metrics for reliably measuring the impact of corporate activities on nature and the effects of mitigation projects. Allianz Global Investors has developed a metric for land-based biodiversity impact and will next year focus on ocean health impact. The World Economic Forum has found $44 trillion of global economic value is moderately or highly dependent on healthy ecosystems and biodiversity. Tightened U.S. rules throttle Alibaba and Baidu's AI chip development. Financial Times. Chinese tech giants Alibaba and Baidu may be left relying on outdated and stockpiled chips to pursue their artificial intelligence (AI) ambitions, following tightened U.S. export controls on chips. The new restrictions will force Chinese tech groups to turn to AI chipsets similar to NVIDIA's V100, which was released in 2017, in order to train and run generative AI models. However, chips have become significantly more advanced since then, posing an existential challenge to China's efforts to keep up with AI development. The controls also increase the number of advanced AI chips requiring a license that is likely to be denied. In industry first, Mitsubishi Electric secures defense deal with Australia. Japan Times. Japanese company Mitsubishi Electric has signed a joint development agreement with the Australian government to develop defense equipment. The deal will see the company combine its electronic and optical systems expertise with laser technology developed by Australia's Defence Science and Technology Group. No further details were given about the contract. FDAV's further reading. Financial Times. Tech billionaire Peter Thiel was revealed to have been an FBI informant. Turkish grocery delivery company Getir is expanding in the U.S. despite suffering financial losses. The 60-40 investment strategy had its worst year in generations. Silvio Berlusconi's heirs are struggling to deal with his worthless art collection. Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle brand Goop is now available to everyone. A comparison of commercially available chairs to those seen on Star Trek. An exploration of building an ark for Antarctica. U.S. revives controversial web rules Trump worked to quash. South China Morning Post. U.S. regulators have voted to bring back net neutrality, a principle that ensures equal access to the Internet. The U.S. Federal Communications Commission, FCC, passed the proposal, which still needs to be voted on to become final. The rule would give the FCC the authority to regulate broadband providers to prevent them from blocking or slowing Internet service. Under former President Donald Trump, net neutrality rules were removed. However, President Joe Biden has prioritized their revival. Critics argue that the move will expand administrative power, though proponents say it is necessary to protect equal access to broadband. Alibaba, Tencent join big backers for Chinese AI startup Zhipu. Bloomberg. Chinese investors, including Alibaba and Tencent, have invested 2.5 billion Chinese yuan, $342 million, in AI startup Zhipu, part of a larger trend of capital flowing into the AI sector in China. Zhipu is one of several private firms attempting to build domestic rivals to OpenAI's ChatGPT. The interest in AI startups such as Zhipu highlights the broader implications of the US-China AI competition, which is expected to transform various industries and potentially power a new phase of economic growth. Additionally, AI technology has government and military applications that could complicate the already tense relationship between Washington and Beijing. BHP chief counts on China taming property crisis to lift economy. Nikkei Asia. BHP CEO Mike Henry has said that the speed with which China's property policies can restore market confidence is crucial to stabilizing the country's economy. BHP, the world's largest mining company, is highly exposed to the Chinese market, with around 60% of its overall revenue coming from there. China's economic growth has slowed considerably in recent years, and BHP is hoping that the government's measures to stimulate the property sector will translate into economic momentum. Henry also highlighted the challenge of decarbonizing the mining industry and reducing emissions. A guide to art collecting. The Globe and Mail. Buying art can be a daunting task with the rise of digital galleries and online auctions, making it easier than ever to purchase art but also easier to make hasty decisions. experts have shared 5 tips to make the art buying experience enjoyable and stress-free. Firstly, it is important to consider the size of the artwork and the space you have available to display it. Knowing the measurements and bringing a measuring tape can help you make better decisions. Secondly, it is important to plan for the long haul. Consider the insurance and storage requirements of the artwork before purchasing. Thirdly, ensure the artwork is authentic by checking if the seller is part of a reputable art association and obtaining proper documentation. Fourthly, do thorough research on the artwork, the artist, and the process used to create it. Finally, find a community of art lovers who can offer advice and inspiration. Engaging with others and learning about different styles and preferences can enhance the art buying experience. And that's a wrap for today's news. We covered a wide range of topics, from asset managers assessing corporate harm to nature, to China's AI ambitions being throttled by tightened US rules, to Mitsubishi Electric securing a defense deal with Australia. But let's not forget about the revival of net neutrality in the US, the investment in Chinese AI startup Zhipu, and BHP's CEO counting on China to lift its economy. And for all you art lovers out there, we even had a guide to art collecting. Now, let's dive into these stories a bit deeper. The focus on nature and biodiversity by asset managers is a positive step towards sustainable investing. It's important for companies to be held accountable for their impact on the environment, and having internationally agreed metrics will provide transparency and promote responsible practices. As for Alibaba and Baidu, the tightened US export controls on chips pose a challenge to their AI ambitions. They may have to rely on outdated technology, which could hinder their ability to keep up with AI development. This highlights the ongoing competition between the US and China in the AI sector, which has broader implications for various industries and geopolitical tensions. Mitsubishi Electric's defense deal with Australia is a significant development, as it shows the growing collaboration between the two countries in the defense sector. The combination of expertise from both sides will likely lead to innovative solutions and advancements in defense technology. The revival of net neutrality in the US is a win for equal access to the internet. It ensures that broadband providers cannot block or slow down internet service, protecting the principles of an open and free internet. While critics argue that it expands administrative power, proponents see it as necessary to protect equal access to broadband. The investment in Chinese AI startup Zhipu by Alibaba and Tencent reflects the growing interest and capital flowing into the AI sector in China. This competition between the US and China in AI has far-reaching implications and could shape the future of various industries, as well as impact the geopolitical landscape. BHP's CEO counting on China to tame its property crisis is a testament to the close relationship between the mining industry and China's economy. BHP's revenue heavily relies on the Chinese market, so the success of China's property policies is crucial for their business. It also highlights the challenge of transitioning to a more sustainable mining industry and reducing emissions. And finally, for all you art lovers out there, the Guide to Art Collecting provides some handy tips to make the process enjoyable and stress-free. From considering the size and space for the artwork to doing thorough research on the artist and the piece, these tips can help you make informed decisions and build a collection you love. That's all for today's news. I hope you enjoyed the stories and found them informative. Now, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these topics? Do you have any questions or opinions? Let's start a discussion. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.